Okay, we're here to discuss the campus vision statement for B. Garza Middle School in Westaco, Texas. Will you please introduce yourself and let us know how many years you've taught and your current assignment, please?
Good afternoon. My name is Cynthia Gonzalez. I am the campus instructional facilitator here at B. Garza Middle School. I have a total of 23 years in education. I have a couple of years in high school, as well as elementary and middle school, as well have been an administrator in elementary and now middle school.
Can you please tell us the role that the campus vision statement plays into the operations of the campus?
The campus vision statement is so important because that gives you the purpose, that gives you the why. Without the vision statement, you don't know what the end in mind is going to be. So the vision is so important. That is what drives our curriculum, our instruction, everything that we do. So without the vision statement, we kind of have no purpose.
Can you please tell us if you were involved or if you have been involved in the creation or development of the campus vision statement?
We're fortunate enough that we have the leader in me, and that allowed us to meet together as a staff, and we took the time to develop a vision statement where everybody was a stakeholder, everybody gave input as well as refined it. So yes, I've had the opportunity to be a stakeholder in the vision statement, and it's a very powerful opportunity because I'm also part of the why, and I understand the why to make sure that the plan that we implement is part of the vision statement.
Do you think your experiences as an educator, your extensive experience in the world of education, played a role into your input into the campus vision statement?
I think it does because the experiences that I have built me, made me who I am. You know, the strengths and the weaknesses that I have helped me to be a better administrator than having not had them, because if I wouldn't have gone through what I did, then I wouldn't have been able to be an effective instructional leader. So it's really important that I look at what works, what doesn't work, and also apply research to the vision statement and to everything that I do to make sure that, you know, student success will be enhanced.
Do you think that the development of the vision statement should be a shared responsibility?
Totally. I totally believe that everybody is a stakeholder, and it's so important that everybody's voice is heard and that we all contribute to the vision statement because we're all part of the organization, and you know, the ultimate goal is student success, and how is it that we're going to get there? You know, we all need to be active stakeholders.
Who currently shares this responsibility?
Because we're a part of the Leader in Me grant, everybody has a stake in the development of the vision statement, and I think that's so powerful because beforehand, what would happen is we would select a couple of people to be representatives of other organizations, other staff members, and then they would come in and give their input. With the Leader in Me, everybody has a stake in developing the vision statement. Everybody's voice is heard, everybody's opinions are heard, the whys are addressed, and the hows are addressed. So it's very powerful. Yes.
Considering the vision statement, and I found the vision statement on our school website, and it states, B. Garza Middle School inspires and empowers all students to reach their full, unique potential so that each thrives in and contributes to our global community. Do you think the way it's worded, it is perceived by staff as what it was intended to be?
I think the key is that we need to be visionaries, and we have to develop a vision for the future that is unset. As of right now, we're preparing kids for a future that we don't know exists yet. So we might be preparing them for a career that we think might be in the future, but the future is changing so fast with technology and advancements that we have to be visionaries in education, because otherwise, you know, our biggest asset, which is our kids, you know, are going to be at a disadvantage. So that is so important.
I know we're a campus that prides ourselves in having technology for our students, and I think, or correct me if I'm wrong, every classroom has a one-to-one available device for students in regards to technology. And with this in mind, do you think that practices are in place to help students be innovative and have innovative thinking in terms of the vision statement?
I think what's important is that we got them the technology. We're trying to train our teachers so that they are familiar with technology and how to implement technology. It's just that technology is moving at such a fast pace that us as educators trying to keep up with, you know, the changing technological advances and meeting the needs of our kids. It's just meeting a balance of what needs to be taught, how to teach it, and making sure that our kids are prepared to meet the needs of the 21st century.
I think you're in a unique position to answer this next question because you're in seventh grade. You're the seventh grade administrator, so you get to see where these sixth graders are coming from and where they're headed. Considering their needs and considering the campus needs, do you think that the campus vision statement umbrellas everyone?
That's a good question. The vision statement is not set in concrete, and we need to revisit it on a yearly basis to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all of our kids, because things change from year to year. We need to make sure that our vision is updated to meet the needs of our kids and society, because otherwise, if we keep the vision the same year in and year out, then we might not be hitting the mark, and our kids will not be meeting the demands of a future that we don't know exists yet.
How accurately do you believe that administrative staff is able to describe or explain the campus vision statement if asked?
I think it's something that we all need to work on, because yes, we all had the opportunity to work on it. We all had the opportunity to develop it, but once it was developed, we placed it in our student achievement improvement plan and put it on our website, and we don't do a good job revisiting it, and it should be something that we do on a daily basis to make sure that we know what the focus is, we know what the end is in mind, to make sure that there's a purpose, there's a why, because without the why, then we're just not doing justice to our kids.
Do you think staff is receptive when you do provide that feedback that is intended to help us as teachers grow in terms of the vision statement? Do you think staff is receptive to that type of feedback?
Like with anything, there's always going to be the onesies and twosies who are not open to constructive criticism, but it's in the manner that you approach them and you discuss the situation with them. But it's so important that we realize that we're not perfect and that we need to grow, because if we stop growing, then we're doing an injustice to our kids, because the needs of our kids are constantly changing. So us as educators, we're in a very powerful position where we can make the most impact on student achievement. And if we are not open-minded or receptive to change, then our kids are going to be at a disadvantage versus other kids who have educators who are always open-minded, always willing to listen to new research, willing to implement different strategies that have been proven to address certain learning needs. So it's important.
Do you believe that teachers feel like they have the opportunity to reinforce it, or they're as aware as they should be of the opportunities that we as teachers have day in and day out to reinforce it? Do you think staff is knowledgeable of that?
I think teachers at this point have so much on their plate that they're just trying to put everything together to make sure that they that they cover everything that needs to be covered. As far as the vision statement goes, I think that as far as administration goes, we need to revisit it and remind the teachers as often as possible so that they're aware of the why, and making sure that everything that they do, their lesson planning, their discussions, their lessons are all geared towards the vision, because it comes from the top to the top down. And if we don't do our due diligence and make sure that we constantly revisit the vision statement, then, if it's not monitored, it's not going to be done.
One of the things that accompanies the vision statement on our campus is the value statement, and it reads, "The Beatriz Garza Middle School implements a blended learning environment that prepares our students for success in a rapidly changing world." Do you think that accurately aligns with our vision as a campus?
Yes, because every student is different. Every student has different learning needs and learning gaps, and because of that, we need to take the child from where they're at and move them to the level that they should be at. Because this one size fits all is not beneficial for our kids, because all of our kids have different home lives, they have different values, they have a variety of different issues that they're dealing with. So because of that, we need to make sure that we know our curriculum, we know where they need to be at, and then we need to know where the students are at and address their weaks and strengths, so that way we can better prepare them to meet the needs of the 21st century.
I know you mentioned the vision statement needs to be revisited, and we also mentioned where it's found. Do you think it would make a difference if the vision statement were more visible to students on campus?
Most definitely, because if you're constantly being bombarded by a certain slogan or certain sentence, you're more likely to remember it.
Where do you think it would best fit on our campus? If you had the choice to say this is where it should be, or these are the places it should be, where would you have it?
I would have it posted, in the different hallways on different posters for our kids to revisit when they're walking down the hallways. They know, oh, okay, this is our vision statement right above the water fountain, so they'll see it there in the cafeteria. Throughout the hallways, right when you're entering the entrance, to make sure that the parents know that we have a vision and that there are very important stakeholders, which are their kids. We're going to do everything that we can to make sure that we address their learning needs.
Ms. Gonzalez, thank you for your time, and thank you for your constant and continuous support.
Well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.